All right, so I was wanting to continue my videos on the missing girl from the Dominican Republic, Sudiksha Konanki. Um, keep finding out some new details. Of course, she's been missing now for 21 days. Um, I did find some new details though. Like, here's about her friends here that they are acquaintances from her university. They did not look for her. Let's see. So they're acquaintances from her university. I'm seeing what all the recent um, things are that are being said about like the case and her friends and stuff. Um, says here her friends don't know anything. Sudiksha willingly stayed behind with Joshua because she wanted to hook up with him. Her friends left because they were going for a hike the morning after. Yeah, okay. That's also the reason why it took them so long to report her missing. They were hiking, and only when they came back in the afternoon they realized Sudiksha was missing. I still think they're trash because they left her alone with a stranger, intoxicated and close to the water, and they didn't even bother to call her the next day to check on her if she was okay and safe. Their behavior as friends is questionable, but they don't know much about what happened and they were quickly allowed to leave the country. Okay. Um, yeah, they didn't call the police for hours. That young woman had just met the dude. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, um, someone says, I agree, especially that they were responsible enough to take her phone from her, but not sympathetic enough to check on her while she's drunk by the water, alone with a stranger in another country and in the dark, since one college student mentioned the power went out. Make it make sense. What if she wasn't planning to get that drunk? When you drink sometimes, you get so tipsy that you don't think clearly to stop drinking. You may take more and more. Yes, that's true. um, yeah, that's very true. But just because someone cannot handle their liquor does not mean they deserve friends to be careless by not checking on you. Well, um, they are grown women. Someone says here they are grown women. The victim was having fun with the guy. I don't know. They both looked pretty sick. Actually, they both looked like they were extremely intoxicated. From all that we know. Um, Sorry for the glare on the from the window. By the way, it's just um, hopefully that doesn't bother the viewers here. Um, Let me see. So they are grown women. They are grown women. The victim was having fun with the guy. Do you honestly think if they have tried to warn her for friendship's sake, would she listen? I don't think so. Well, we don't know that for sure. They were all on vacation. Sad story for real. Stranger danger code was not used specifically in foreign land. It is hard to solve issues. Okay. Yeah. Um, it is a very sad situation. Yeah, like no trace of her has been found yet at all. Um, seems kind of suspect that they are throwing in the towel 20 days in. It's entirely possible that she's still alive. I mean, there's a remote possibility. Why rush to declare her dead? Damn, at least give it a month, for F's sake. Very true. I mean, I wouldn't throw in the towel 20 days in. Jesus. But maybe they just don't know what else to do. But I mean, to give up that soon, that's not, 20 days is nothing in a missing person's case. That's nothing, right? That's way too soon to give up. Let's see what else everyone's been saying here in the last 24 hours here. These are all recent comments from various people, relevant comments to to everything going on so far. 21 days in. Let's see here. What else are people saying? They think that Joshua Reeb knows more. He gripped an intoxicated woman and led her there. That is actually true. I mean, she was going with him, but still, he's had her, her arm over her and was leading her toward the beach. The friends, well, yeah, both of them were intoxicated. People are saying that it's possible her drink was spiked, or even both of their drinks were spiked. Someone says here, I would have been the friend calling her parents and cops so she doesn't go away with this guy holding so tight. Well, yeah. They probably just weren't thinking anything of it at the time. Someone says she is not alive, but she is also not in the water, and Joshua knows exactly where she is. Very possible. Well, yeah. Very, very possible. Seems like both were intoxicated. They were definitely both intoxicated. So condemning him not knowing the facts is pure speculation. Both her parents and he are traumatized. Only time will reveal what transpired. In the interim, judge not lest you be judged. Okay, let the investigators do their job. I mean, that's fine. It's pretty much we don't know anything at all still, other than all of our speculations here. Still doesn't sit right with me though. I'm leaning towards not believing his story at all, but that's just me. I think he might have, I just tend not to believe him, but the situation is frightening and horrible. Yep, that's what somebody said. Hopefully they don't give up the search. They got to keep on looking. No trace of her. It's crazy. I don't know if she's out in that ocean or not, or could she could have even got kidnapped. That's a possibility too. It was it was quite a number of hours before he came back from the beach. Quite a number of hours. And the friends, of course, left early. They left them alone. So nobody knows what happened but him, um, or the slight possibility of him passing out and something else happened to her, of course, too. So, kind of all we got to go on right now. Too bad nobody's come forward and has like said they've seen any this and said that they seen anything. That's too bad. But a lot of people are not believing his story at all. It's mixed. It's mixed. It's all over the board. It's all over the place here. Um, um, some of these comments are crazy. Um, Someone says kissing in the ocean at 4 a.m. He assaulted her. She resisted, and he silenced her. It's very possible. Someone says wrong. She pushed him away. She didn't want him next to her. Yeah, but like, how would you know that? um, uh, Man, I just hope they find some trace of her. I hope they find that can somehow discover what the truth is behind this. I really, really do. This is really this is terrible. This is horrible. And hopefully this is the case still gets talked. Still gets talked about. Um, Hopefully all these channels and all these people, keep up with this, keep following it, keep saying things, keep this active. You know. Someone says I believe there's more than one theory. Oh yeah, there's definitely more than one theory. It's not. It's this isn't. Oh yeah. Um, like here's some theories. Drowned and he couldn't saved her. Couldn't save her. Sure, but he thinks her body would have washed up by now. Kidnapped, trafficked, removed her off the island, abducted. Yeah, there's all kinds of sure. There's all kinds of scenarios. We don't know. We don't know anything. His story is just one scenario, one thing. We don't know if it's true or not, right? Not one. Nothing is leaning one way or the other at all in this so far. And it doesn't matter what we personally think. Like I personally don't believe he's telling the truth, but I don't know. I don't know any more than anybody else. I'm just it's just a vibe I have about it. Like a lot of other people are having that same feeling, that same disturbing feeling, about him. But yeah, like I hope that the FBI is still keeping tabs on things around there because she may have been abducted and be alive. Yes, this could be part of something bigger. That's scary. No wonder her parents are in turmoil. Yeah, you never know. I mean, any number of things could have happened here. All of the kids were drinking. Um, why were Josh and Sudiksha the only ones uncontrollably drunk? Something's wrong. I think Joshua knows more. If he was sleeping in the sun, wouldn't he be sunburnt? Oh, Well, or security would have seen him in the supposed 3 hour window. Yeah, like nobody saw anything? Even in all of those hours that he was gone? Like that's, I don't, yeah, like if somebody saw him like passed out, like he said, then that could help him, his side of the story out. I haven't heard anybody say anything about that either. So, all right, I'm back. Made it just a little bit later in here. um, let's see. Somebody says I can see that the man in a cap is placing something from a small envelope in the cup. He's looking at Sudiksha along with the guy next to him. Interesting. I'm not sure. Um, yeah. Before we go on, like what, like for anybody listening out there, have you observed anything strange like this? Like, do you think you can see anything like that, like something being slipped into her cup or drinking cup, or his, like either one of their like drinks? I'm not sure. Someone says here, I think Joshua got caught up into the whole sex on the beach thing and had himself a drunk and vulnerable cutie to shoot his shot with, and sadly got rejected. So that's what I was originally going with too. Like just when I first heard about this, that's immediately what I was thinking. They both probably were in waist deep water or maybe laying on the beach. He then became enraged and choked her out. At that point, he swimmed her unconscious body out into the ocean as far as he could swim and let the riptide do the rest. He then swam back and sat on the beach the entire night waiting to see if her body would wash up on the beach. And around 9 a.m., when it appeared that her body was lost at sea, he decided to go back to his room and make up the story of the big wave taking them both out. That's just my opinion. My deepest condolences to the young lady's family. Wishing you all the best. So, that person's opinion is very close to what I think may have happened. Yeah. To it, I personally think something similar to that went down. Um, Someone says this sounds entirely plausible to me. Sadly, I believe that for some young men, a kiss is just the pathway to whoopee. It also may be that the strong surf just took her out, and maybe he went too, but his swimming skills were somewhat stronger and he survived the wave. Yeah, could be something similar to that, and he just made up like the heroic story. Um, Maybe they like both got swept out and he couldn't save her, but he doesn't want to like come forth and just say that, like he just saved himself and not her. Um, that's a really good, that's a very plausible scenario too. Like it may not have anything to do with like him like killing her or choking her out or something, but maybe that they did get swept out and that he's lying about the heroism story where he brought her back to shore and then passed out. Like I could see that as well, something like that. And he just didn't want to. He's just lying about that part. Like he didn't try. Maybe he tried to save her and just couldn't, so he had to leave her behind and went back himself. Like that, that that makes a lot of sense too to me. I feel like it could be something like that. And he just doesn't want to come forward and say like the entire truth. Um because it would put him in an even, because he's thinking about himself. He doesn't want to put him into a worse light and make him look more suspicious. Like I could see that too. Yeah. Um so what I'm saying is like part of the story's true and then the other part is false. Something like that along those lines. Someone says the security on the beach is probably in on it, and then a reply was there was no security. Oh, um, I have no idea. I really feel for the parents. Probably the friends probably feel terrible too. I would imagine that they would. I don't know how close they were to her. Um, and if Joshua's story is true, then I'm sure he feels terrible too. I'm not buying it, but I'm not buying a story, but Joshua Reeb, however you pronounce his last name, said he pulled her all the way to knee-high water and watched her walk at an angle towards the chair where she left her things. It was a little bit of a walk because the water had pushed them away from their things. Right? How did she drown? In thin air? Well, and that was, that's an early thought of mine as well. Like, how would she have drowned then? Like, did she just, like, fall down, pass out, and another wave took her back out to sea after the Joshua, like, passed out? And that's why he didn't see her? Like, I could see that happen if the waves were rough that night. Were rough enough to push her back out. Although it seemed like it's, So there's that too. There's, that scenario. Like, what happened then to her? Is it that she may have, like, passed out herself before she left the water all the way and another wave somehow swept her back out there? Or did something else happen after he saved her and passed out? Somebody else or other people did something to her before she got a chance to get out of there, get off the beach. I don't know. But these are all possible scenarios here. Depends on with his story telling the truth. If his story is truthful or not, too. I think a lie detector test would be a good idea. Her parents declaring her dead was a huge mistake. I mean, I think so. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it that soon. Joshua was never drug tested. Alcohol is not the only substance they could have taken. The generation that we are living in as a whole, has a whole lot of substances to use to get high. Yeah. Who knows what else they took along with drinking tequila? Sure. I mean, yeah. He gave her something to try, and alone with the drinking, it's very possible. That is very possible. Um, let's see if I can. Again, sorry for the glare, and video quality is bad here right now. But hopefully you're still with me. So I know we could go on and on with this, but I always like to hear what. I'm pretty invested in this disappearance, and I like to hear what everybody's saying, all the recent stuff. So that's what we're doing here. And people are comparing it to the Aruba case, Natalie Holloway. I followed that pretty closely too. That was crazy too. And there was no trace of her either, right? Like, Jesus. What is this person saying? Buried in the beach is no joke, but the two guys walk out to the beach after her two friends, where coming back leads to a kidnapped group in action. I'm not really sure what he's talking about there. Someone says here, this is bullshit. Had he been forced to talk, she would have been found, or at least they could have kept him longer. This is the problem. They want to finalize and get done with this case. This guy lied, and it is strange that she has not been found. There was a very clever plan to hide her body. I don't believe she drowned, but things need to be proved. Yeah. Someone says Sudiksha is kidnapped. The bar drugged her. Uh, I don't know. Joshua knows what happened, and he is trying to portray himself as a hero because from saving her. If he really saved her, then where is she then? Doesn't sound like a very good save to me. All right. I moved out of the window glare. It was definitely not a good look for the video. Apologies for that. Definitely don't want it to make the video look too bad of quality, but a little too late for that. So we'll finish up here. I'll keep up, but I will keep up on this case. See what all of you are saying here again in the next couple of days. See if there's any new developments. As always, let me know what your thoughts are on this tragic case so far. What do you think might have happened? What are your thoughts so far? What do you think might be the most likely scenario if you have one? Hopefully some trace of her will be found soon, And we'll wrap it up here, I think. Trying to see if there's anything else relevant to say here. So this young lady didn't just didn't disappear. She was with this guy. He has three different stories. Why didn't her body wash up if she drowned? Well, a few different could be a few different reasons why, but what was he doing for the 5 hours he was missing? They let him go. This is terrible. Her body wouldn't have necessarily washed up. It's been discussed so far, like, if she did drown, she may never be found due to gas that builds up in the body and then sinks, taking the body to the bottom, where it would be like, feasted on by marine life. So says, did you guys notice Joshua holding a cup when he was walking to the beach with Sudiksha? I wonder if something was in that cup that he gave, and he may have given it to her. It's hard to say. Yeah. Parents haven't put up a reward. That means they don't care. They cancel fast the search. No love here. I mean, it definitely doesn't sit right with me, that part. So here's the surveillance footage from the hotel bar shows her girlfriends and other guys handing Sudiksha as well as Joshua a cup containing an adulterated drink and other substances, seemingly with the complicity of the bartenders. This is the breakdown. In the beginning of the video, both Joshua and Sudiksha are seen vomiting repeatedly, while one of the girls on the far right is seen passing what appears to be a spiked drink to other guys, who then smell and examine the drink before making hand gestures symbolizing death, then exchange handshakes, fist bumps with the bartenders as if congratulating them. Now, before I read all of that and finish up here, let me know if you find any truth to any of this, like after watching the video. Like, do you see anything like this actually happening? Like, I don't know I don't know. I can't say either way, but let me know what you think. Is this even like remotely accurate? Like, do you see these things actually happening here? Like, or could there even be a possibility of these things happening in the video? Additionally, a third guy sitting at the bar far left is seen talking with the girls and engaging in the same suspicious behavior as the other two. From the right, another guy, Joshua's friend, standing next to him, claps his hands, seemingly signaling to the group to rush things along. Later, he is seen walking with the girls toward the beach before returning while holding hands with one of them. If you look closely, just as the other two girls return from the beach, the guys from the bar can be seen heading in that direction. Bottom line, authorities failed to investigate or question these individuals, unfortunately. Well, how do we know that? Do we know that for sure? Instead, they focused solely on Joshua, who, in my opinion, was framed as the sole witness and suspect, despite clear evidence of others' involvement. Furthermore, authorities failed to present the young woman's passport or track her cell phone or the other girls' phones for possible leads. So there's a okay. There's a lot to go on there. I don't know. I mean, that's what there's a lot said there. I felt it worth noting down. I don't know what to think about all this. Jesus. So, oh man. So yeah, with a lot of these, like a lot of these missing persons cases, that we don't have any, we don't really know what happened. Everything, all of our thoughts are like all over the place. Um, I really hope that I just really hope that some trace of her is found. The family can get some real closure and not this, um, not like this to where 20 days in you're just giving up like that. I'm thinking that she's already dead and gone. But it seems like they believe the story and that she drowned at sea, which, you know, may be the most likely possibility. It's just that I don't know. I don't know, man. Um, my thoughts are all over the place with this, as I'm sure everybody else, a lot of people, a lot of others' thoughts are. Um, but I will keep up. I will keep up on this. I got a couple previous videos that I did about this, and we'll check back on this case in a couple days, see if there's any new developments, see if any trace of her has been found. I'm hoping, or anything else that we can find out. If you're still with me, thank you for watching though, and I'll return to this case here in a couple of days.